How's it going, guys? My name is Dom, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create, update, and delete HTML elements using JavaScript. Okay, now this here is going to be part of JavaScript DOM manipulation, and it's really important that you learn how this stuff works if you plan on building interactive user interfaces for your website. And there are a lot of different techniques online when it comes to doing some of this stuff, but I'm going to be focusing on some of the more modern methods of doing this, as well as still keeping it simple. Okay, so right here, we've got a list of fruit, and we're going to be using this unordered list element to, of course, add, update, and delete. Okay, so going inside the text editor, the HTML currently looks like this here. We have the unordered list with an ID of fruit list. Okay, going inside the JavaScript, let's begin by getting a reference to that list in the JavaScript code. We'll say const fruit list equal to document.getElement, or my mistake, query selector, then pass through here hash fruit list. Okay, now if you haven't seen query selector before, basically you pass in a CSS selector. So as you know, in CSS to target IDs, you say hash, classes is a dot, okay? Simply get the element with this ID. If I was to console.log the fruit list now, we'll save this, go back in the browser, refresh, we get the unordered list in the JavaScript. Okay, so now, because we've got a reference to that element in the JavaScript, we're now able to do things like add to it, update it, or delete from it, okay? So let's begin with adding a new fruit to that list. In other words, how do we create a new li tag and append it to this existing list? Going back inside here, we'll say function add fruit. It's going to take in the name of the new fruit to be added, all right? Now, within here, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to be creating a new li tag, a new list item element, okay? We can say const new fruit is equal to document.createElement. Then pass through here the tag name of li, all right? So this line of code here is the exact same, basically, as making a new li tag in your standard HTML. But the thing is, it is yet to be inserted in the actual DOM or the document, okay? It's just floating around in memory, ready to be appended to this existing list. Now, before we append that to the list, we need to insert some text within the li itself. So we'll say here, new fruit dot, then take advantage of the text content property. You can set this equal to the name which we're going to pass in when calling this function very shortly. So now, after this line of code, your list item looks something like this with the name that you pass in. It might be strawberry or mango, whatever it is. It's going to contain the text. So now, once you have inserted that text, we can append it to that list. This is done using fruitList.append. Then you pass through here the new fruit just like this. Okay. We can now save this, go back in the browser here. Then in the console, we can say add fruit. Okay. And we can pass in the name. Let's do strawberry, okay? Press enter and we get strawberry right there, okay? So these 3 lines of code is one of the most simple examples of making a new element, inserting some text inside of it, and then appending it to the existing list. Now you can also do things like add classes to your elements. So alongside this text content, you might also say new fruits.classList.add, and you can say, for example, bold, right? Now your list item looks like this, li, class, and then bold. Let's save this, go back in the browser, refresh. we'll add the strawberry again. Nothing here changes visually because we've got no CSS associated with that bold class. But if we inspect this here, you can see that you of course get that class on the li. Okay, so we've seen the step-by-step process of creating the element, updating the text content, adding a class. Let's now talk about something called inner HTML. And even though what I'm about to show you is probably not necessarily a better way to do it, it's just another very common way you'll see people append and update HTML. So what is inner HTML? Well, let's get rid of all this here and instead just say fruit list.inner HTML plus equals and then provide a string. We're going to be using JavaScript template strings here. So use the backtick near the 1 on your keyboard. Okay. Here we're going to say an HTML string just like normal. So li with the tags, etc. Then within here, we're going to say $ curly brackets and say name. So we just basically take this name argument and insert it as part of this string. So you might get something like strawberry as an example, right? With this code here. So this here is taking the HTML string of the fruit list. So all of this here, and then you're simply appending to that string some more HTML. It's that simple, yeah? Now, if I save this, go back in the browser, refresh here, and I append the strawberry again, we get the same results, okay? Even in the elements section, if you expand this, the li is added. Now, the problem with this is there is a potential security risk involving cross-site scripting. So basically, if you let your user provide input for something like this, where they can insert their own HTML, you have that risk, okay? But for the most part, if you're in control over what gets inserted here, you should be okay. But I do recommend sticking with the standard method I showed you earlier for building up your HTML. But it's important you're aware of inner HTML like this. And I got a whole video dedicated to inner HTML if you're interested. Okay, so let's go back now to the standard example, all right? And we can move on to updating HTML elements. So this is going to work through an index, okay? In this example right here. So we're going to say, look, I want to update the banana list item. As you can see here, it's the second fruit in the list, but in terms of a index-based system here, it's the item at index 1. We have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sure you've seen in JavaScript arrays and lists, everything is index-based, right? So we're going to update the fruit in index 1. So here we'll say function update fruit, pass in an index to update as well as the new fruit name, all right? So now from here, we need to get a reference to the list item itself, the one to update. We can say const fruit is equal to, then we're going to say fruit list dot children at index, then provide the index right there. So the children property gives you a list of all the HTML elements as part of this parent unordered list. So of course, at index 1, for example, you're going to get this li right here. Let's prove this by saying console.log and then provide the fruit here. Save this, refresh. We're going to call update fruit, pass in index 1 and change it to be, again, strawberry. Okay? If I run this code, we get the console log statement and we have the li selected right there. Okay? So basically, this step is simply grabbing onto the element to update. There are many different ways you can grab onto that element. I've decided to use the children property here, but you can also call query selector on your list. So there's multiple ways to go about doing that, right? Keep that in mind. Now, once you have a reference to the li to update, you can then say, for example, fruit.textContent is equal to, and provide the new name. and we are done. Let's save this, go back in the browser here, refresh, call update fruit strawberry, and banana changes to strawberry. Let's try it again for index 3 instead, and now mango turns into strawberry. Okay, the reason why we didn't need to append here, like the first example, is because this fruit list item is already on the DOM. It's already on the document. So we don't need to then append it. Whereas this case here, this li was in memory and it was yet to be appended. This one already exists. That's why we have only one line of code. Now, also keep in mind that this fruit constant here is the same thing virtually as this one here, except again, this one is created, this one is retrieved from the existing document. But you can also call things like fruits.classList or whatever it is. It's all the same type of object there. Okay? Now, some alternatives to your text content might be, again, to use inner HTML. All right? You can do that also. But if you're interested in creating, for example, a strong tag as part of that li, so add some bold text, you can, of course, create that bold tag. Let's say const strong is equal to document.createElement, and then just say strong here, because of course a strong tag gives you bold text. All right. Now we're going to say strong.textContent is equal to, and again pass in that name. All right. So setting the text content on the strong tag and not the fruit li tag. All right. From here, we're going to say fruit.innerHTML is equal to an empty string. So we're clearing out any existing data inside the li. So this, for example, yeah, making it empty. From here, we're going to append that strong tag. And because the strong tag contains the text should be shown on the screen. So we'll say here, fruit.append, and pass through here the strong tag. Save this, back in the browser, refresh. We can call update fruit on index 1 for strawberry, and we get a strong strawberry right there. In the elements section, you can see you get the strong tag with the content inside of it. All right. Fantastic. So we have that example as well. Okay, we've seen add and we've seen update. Let's have a look now at removing. This here is the easiest one out of the three. So let's say function remove fruit, and it's going to take in an index. Now, there are two ways to do this. Let me show you the simplest way first. And we'll say const fruit is equal to, and again, we're just going to copy this code from above. We'll say fruit list at index, then pass the index in. So again, getting a reference to the fruit object, but this time, instead of updating it, we're going to be deleting it. So it's very simple, fruit.remove, just like this. Save this, back in the browser, refresh, go up here, remove fruit at index 0, the first one, press enter, and apple goes away. Of course, in the element section, there's only now 4 allies as part of that unordered list. All right, that's your first technique, very straightforward. Okay, the second technique or alternative would be to reference the fruit list, then say remove child and pass in the fruit to remove. So this here is a little bit more complicated because you need to get a reference to the parent element, which you likely have anyway. Then you just say remove one of its child elements, and then you pass which one to remove in. Save this, back in the browser, refresh here, try it again, and we get the exact same results. And this here is a more traditional way of removing that child element. Okay, I definitely stick to remove here. Also worth noting that we removed the content inside of the existing li tag in the update example by simply calling inner HTML equal to empty. So again, this here is going to clear out the contents of your tag, basically leaving you ready to append something else to it in replacement. And that is the basics of adding, updating, and deleting HTML elements using the JavaScript DOM. If this video helped you out, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to Decode, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Before going away, I've also got a lot of other JavaScript DOM tutorials and projects on my channel if you're interested in learning some more. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.